So with the release of the new Resident Evil 2 Remake just around the corner, and the one-shot demo already released as well, I just wanted to break down and share my top 5 things that I'm looking forward to in this new Resident Evil 2 Remake, seeing what great aspects that this game will provide us survival horror fans with this new iteration of RE2. Anyways, what is up you guys, this is DeVuH, and in this video we'll delve in and see my top 5 things that I'm looking forward to in this new Resident Evil 2 Remake, ranging from its great atmospheric environments, to its great bosses and monsters, and to its overall gameplay experience. So starting off with number 5, where we cover the amazing environments and soundtracks that we're going to be experiencing throughout our journey in this new RE2 remake, where we can quickly see that the developers from Capcom hasn't held back in giving us Resident Evil fans a terror-filled setting, where we experience the darkened and cramped environments and seeing the halls of the RPD station destroyed by the many monsters that lurk inside the police department.
Jesus, they're everywhere!
To the many gore-stained walls of the east side of the RPD station, to this beautiful setting of the revamped library, giving us a variety of eye-catching sceneries as we traverse through this game.
Copy that. I'll be right there.
While also paying homage to its original Resident Evil 2's version, where it showcases the many familiar environments throughout the game, but putting an extra twist to it so it could give us longtime RE fans a fresh new take on the new settings. Clear example of these is when we see the added bathrooms in the RPD station, to a sewer entrance when playing as Leon while accompanied by Ada Wong. Also, another great thing about the environment is the overall feel of claustrophobia that it exudes, placing us Resident Evil fans in a darkened environment while fighting our way through the cramped hallways of the RPD station, all the while playing some of the amazing soundtracks that Resident Evil has come to be known for, from the menacing soundtrack when facing off against a new version of Mr. X, to the relaxing new theme of the save room. Also on a quick note, we got a chance in this new remake to switch to the current iteration of the soundtrack with the original Resident Evil 2's version, so we can traverse through the many environments of the new remake while listening to some of the most nostalgic soundtracks from the original Resident Evil 2. Overall, this new remake is taking full advantage of the new RE engine, giving us Resident Evil fans one of the best looking and sounding games that we've seen to date. Alright, so moving on to the fourth thing to look forward to in this game, is the overall gameplay mechanics and feel while playing as either Leon or Claire. So with the one-shot demo just released, we got a great hands-on feel with the new remake, and seeing how our characters handle and feel while fighting the many zombies that lurk in the RPD station. Anyways, I wanted to start off with the obvious, and that we were put in the over-the-shoulder aspect while playing our characters in this new Resident Evil remake, giving us more versatility when fighting the hordes of the undead by being allowed to shoot them in a variety of areas that would either incapacitate them or kill them. Also, while fighting these zombies, we notice that we can shoot these monsters while still moving, but this will greatly decrease our accuracy compared to standing still, which allows the crosshairs to shrink, giving us better accuracy when shooting these monsters. This gameplay balance is a great addition to the game, allowing us players to fight off the many monsters around us while being mobile, but at the same time not being overpowered against them either by lowering our accuracy. But with the over-the-shoulder aspect of the gameplay, one would think that they're completely thrown away with the classic fixed camera angle style of gameplay from the past. But with the new demo trailer, we got to see some snippets of gameplay, showcasing Leon to be running from a different perspective compared to the over-the-shoulder aspect that we've seen so far. It's not a far-fetched conclusion to think that they would implement the same in-game camera perspective change like they did with the Resident Evil 5 Lost in Nightmares game, where we're able to switch between an over-the-shoulder aspect style of gameplay to a fixed camera angle point of view, which gives us longtime Resident Evil fans some great nostalgia gameplay. Anyways, regardless if they do or don't implement this camera angle swap in this new Resident Evil 2 remake, I'm sure Capcom has thought this through and created a game that would still cater to both the old school Resident Evil fans, but at the same time still cater to the new fans that are getting into the series as well. Anyway, so overall gameplay and feel to this game was great, while still giving us enough firepower to fend off the monsters that surround us, but not enough to easily overpower them as well, giving us a great blend of manageable challenges to the gameplay while still retaining the fun aspect while we play this game. Alright, so moving on to the third thing to look forward to in this new RE2 remake, is the storyline and how it changes things up compared to the original Resident Resident Evil 2. Anyway, so in the original RE2, we were given the chance to play as both Leon or Claire in either scenario A or B, giving us 4 different perspectives to the storyline when playing through the game, because we can either start as Leon in scenario A, then Claire on scenario B, and vice versa, giving us Resident Evil fans a lot of content and lore that surround the game. But with the many footages that the remake has shown us so far, it makes you wonder how they'll implement the events from the 2 different scenarios from the original game into this new remake, where we can possibly see the combination of the 2 scenarios, giving us one cohesive storyline that would be canon, instead of speculating which events would or wouldn't be canon. But after seeing the many gameplays and trailers that Capcom has showcased, it leads me to believe that they're still going to be implementing scenario A and B to the storyline, because there has been footages of both Leon and Claire finding William Birkin in the same setting, or seeing Mr. X fight our protagonist in a similar fashion. So if they do implement the 2 different scenarios in this new Resident Evil 2 remake, then we're going to be enjoying the game for a while, giving us Resident Evil fans a lot of replay value, seeing how they handle the events from the original Resident Evil 2, but putting an extra twist to it that would give us longtime Resident Evil fans a fresh new take on the story, as we follow our protagonists from the RPD station until they make their way to the Umbrella secret lab. We can already see the many subtle changes and additions they've made with this new Resident Evil 2 remake. A great example of this is adding a new area called the Orphanage, where we're supposed to be controlling the young Sherry Birkin, and seeing how she adds more to the storyline compared to original Resident Evil 2's version. Also, as we look at the setting of the orphanage, this appears to be already a great and terrifying looking addition to the game, which makes me wonder about the zombie child that's been teased in one of the trailers, because if we do see a zombie child, that'll be a terrifying thing to encounter. So the second thing to look forward to in this game, which was an extremely close race between the first and second, was the new and improved tyrant, Mr. X. Seeing this tyrant showcased from the previous trailers and gameplays, we Resident Evil fans are in for a great but terrifying time. Because now, we have a tyrant who's hellbent on trying to catch us players, as we traverse through either the RPD station, the sewers, or any of the other new environments that we have to go through. Because with this iteration of Mr. X, we can already see the massive improvement that the developers from Capcom have made with this tyrant. As showcased with the TGA 2018 Resident Evil 2 Remake gameplay trailer, we see Mr. X follow you through the many environments throughout the RPD station, where he can be seen opening doors, climbing stairs, or moving a large portion of a crashed helicopter to try to catch up to Claire. Also, the added fact that this tyrant can be alerted by the gunshot sounds when we fire off against the countless monsters throughout the game, because once alerted, Mr. X will proceed to march on towards us players, and we can hear those loud and thudding footsteps coming closer and closer to us. Also, at the moment, it doesn't seem like Mr. X can be completely taken down until he's unconscious, like we were able to in the original Resident Evil 2. So one of the better strategies to implement when facing Mr. X is to shoot the tyrant on the face, which would cause him to stagger just enough so that we may pass around him and get to safety. Also, the fact that we can hear Mr. X's loud footsteps will give us a great indicator as to which direction he's coming from, which could allow us to make an escape while this tyrant is trying to pursue us. Overall, this brand new iteration of Mr. X in this new Resident Evil 2 remake is amazing, almost taking some traits from Nemesis from Resident Evil 3. From the way Mr. X follows us from room to room, to his ability to march faster and faster as he gets closer to us, and to the way he lifts us players in the air like Nemesis and does his finishing move to kill our protagonist. Anyways, if you guys want a more in-depth look at Mr. X, please feel free to check out my quick analysis video on this tyrant on my channel. I'll leave a card in the top right section of your screen so you guys can check it out. So the number one thing to look forward to in this game is the many boss fights and encounters with William Birkin, because in the original Resident Evil 2, we were given the chance to watch this once human being transform right before our eyes, becoming this massive demonic looking monstrosity. Seeing William Birkin mutate from his first form in scenario B to his final form in the train, we Resident Evil fans can expect this boss to be a great antagonist for us throughout our journey in this new RE2 remake. As showcased from an earlier RE2 remake gameplay trailer, we saw Claire Redfield go toe-to-toe with William in his first G transformation, seeing how menacing his overall appearance is, being reimagined in a way that we could have only hoped for. Where now, he is much faster and aggressive when fighting against us players, showcasing his overall chaotic in-game battle mechanics. But if this first transformation of William Birkin was already something to dread about, then we got a little treat from the new one-shot demo trailer, as we see William in his 4th and 5th G transformation. Seeing him in this later version of his mutation in the upcoming RE2 remake is amazing, because if we could use Mr. X as an example, where the developers from Capcom have built this amazing tyrant using the original Resident Evil 2's version of Mr. X as a foundation, then we can expect the same treatment to William Birkin as well. Seeing him built on top of the already great and terrifying foundation that we've seen him in the original Resident Evil 2, adding so much more content and moves to this monster will be something to look forward to, because who can imagine this in a new Resident Evil 2 remake? We can only hope to be prepared to fight this G monstrosity in its later forms, seeing this monster jump from platform to platform, to its ability to grab a hold of us players and chew on us like a piece of gum. Because as we see a trending pattern for this new remake, we can only expect William's later transformations to be much more menacing and aggressive to the likes that we've never seen before. Anyways, what are you guys looking forward to in this new Resident Evil 2 remake? Please share them on the comment section down below, because I'd love to hear everyone's opinion on this game as well. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my top 5 things to look forward to in this new Resident Evil 2 remakes video. And as always, you guys have a great rest of your day, and this is Hey DeVuH signing out.